Thursday. All right. So today's good. When I woke up Tuesday, felt like it should be Wednesday. That was very frustrating. I wake up today, it feels more like it should be Wednesday, but it's actually Thursday. So I like that turnaround. All right. Yesterday, I was talking about how people remember rock radio being so amazing back in the day. I get those calls from listeners sometimes. Dude, back in the 90s, man. It's when K-Bear was really at it, when you guys were all crazy. Played all kinds of crushing metal and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I don't think you're remembering correct. You might have heard Metallica 1 on repeat for like a week, but then, the station at the time just kind of followed the trends of what was happening in rock radio. And there are a number of pages I follow online that show you what was going on in rock radio back in the day. You can check out the Billboard Modern Rock charts from the time. This was prior to the, media-based chart becoming the industry standard go-to. And it's really interesting to look back on this because you can see for sure what radio stations were playing back in the day. And it might be a little bit different than what you remember. All right? Like, for example, let's go to October 8th, 1994. Let me see how many songs I could find that still get played on rock radio. And to be fair, at the time, I don't believe that alternative was much of a format or something, or maybe they shared the chart, because these charts are very alty. But the number one song at that time on the radio was What's the Frequency, Kenneth by REM. Now, we do have a couple songs floating around in this list that I do see get radio play today on active rock radio. STP, Interstate Love Song, Offspring, Self-Esteem, Green Day, Basket Case. But there's a lot of other stuff sprinkled around in there that you go, really? That was that high on the charts? The Jesus and Mary Chain, Sometimes Always. Sheryl Crow, All I Want to Do. What would you listeners do if I started busting out Sheryl Crow, All I Want to Do on a regular basis? Huh? It's not like it's terrible, but it would be a little bit weird, right? So far, the closest thing to a metal-ish track that I'm seeing on this chart is, and it's not metal. Soundgarden, Fell on Black Days. Okay, you got 9 Inch Nails Closer coming in at number 22 on the charts. I wonder where that song peaked at, because that's a song that most stations still play. Let's find out. Did it go to number 1? That's a great question. Let's find out. Have some patience here. 9 Inch Nails has a big discography. Takes me a minute to scroll through it here. Closer went to... Let's see here. Well, we already saw it higher than 41. Maybe, 11. 11, I guess. 41 on the U.S. What chart is that? I've got some conflicting info going on here. Anyway, another track I saw floating around on these charts was Smells Like Teen Spirit, one of the biggest songs of the 90s, peaking out at number 6 on the rock radio charts. So back in the day, you would have been being pounded relentlessly by stuff like Mazzy Star, Fade Into You, Dinosaur Jr., Feel the Pain, Toad the Wet Sprocket, Something's Always Wrong, Counting Crows, Einstein on the Beach, Liz Phair, Supernova, Grant Lee, Buffalo Mockingbirds. All right. Steve and we didn't really have a rock station at the time that played new music. K-Bear launched in 99. Let's see if I could find a chart here from 99. These are all early 90s or late 2000s. It's too bad this page doesn't just post them in order. That would be great. Okay, 2003. There we go. That's looking about like what I would expect. Early K-Bear. You got Stained, So Far Away at number 1, Linkin Park, Faint at 2, A Perfect Circle at 3, Nickelback at 4, Evanescence Going Under 5. But yeah, you had stuff like Dashboard Confessional in the mix there. High on the charts, number 9. Fuel, Falls on Me, White Stripes, The Hardest Button to Button. The Ataris, The Boys of Summer. There ain't a metal track in sight, people, so I really don't think that people remember what things were like back in the day accurately. You know, your memory is not very reliable. Mine isn't either. Nobody's is, all right? And there's something about nostalgia and being young that made everything when you look back seem really great. Doesn't mean that it actually was better than now. Like, I think as far as music goes, we're living in the best times ever because there is tons of great new stuff coming out all the time. But we also have all of that old material as well. All right. And, you know, most people, it's a scientific fact, stop listening to new music or being interested in new music after the age of 30. So that tends to be why people who are older get in that mind state of, what is up with the music these days? Music's not what it used to be. Take it from me, who has programmed multiple classic stations in the last year or two. New stations like Legends on 105 The Hawk or Throwback on Z103. I always thought the 90s was like the best era of music. Till I started programming classic stations. And then, oh geez, 90s country music? It doesn't get much worse than that, and that's some of the most popular country music. The overall tone of it is just terrible. And top 40 pop music from the 90s? Horrific. Oh, so terrible. I don't know which one was worse to deal with. The classic country, because I got to listen to and thoroughly analyze every song we play on these stations. I don't know which was worse. The throwback music from the pop era, or the pop world, I should say, or the throwback music from the country world. It was bad. Oh, had to give myself a palate cleanser over and over. Throw on some Whitechapel or something just to clear my mind. It's painful. You know, what I go through to help out our community with all of these radio station playlists. You know, I want to ensure that people who like that terrible stuff get the very best of the terrible. So, anyway, just wanted to let you know. There's a page you can follow called, it's just called Modern Rock /Alternative on Facebook. And you can view the radio charts from all kinds of different times. And it's not great. The radio charts right now aren't great either. I mean, radio charts are the most useless way to figure out what you should be playing. But anyhow, all right, I'm getting my brain going a little bit better here. Hopefully I won't speak too poorly as the show goes along. Had a request roll in for some Halloween music from Jeff. We're playing a couple Halloween tracks every hour, thanks to our friends at No Limit Guitar Company. Don't forget to sign up to win that Yamaha electric guitar we're giving away from those guys this week. Sign up in the app. Sometimes you should post questions online, even if you're uncomfortable about doing so as well. You might get some good information. I was looking at the True Off My Chest subreddit. Some guy posted, my wife goes to bed at 9 p.m. every day and claims she needs to sleep at least 12 hours a day to feel well rested. He says, this was something I thought was an exaggeration while we were dating, but after we moved in together, I quickly realized was 100% true. Then he gets into her schedule, and yeah, she's knocking down 12 hours of sleep every night. So you factor in work, time for dinner, other meals and such. This guy gets like 15 minutes to hang out with his wife every day, and he's like, this kind of sucks. But she, insists that she has to have this much sleep or she's going to be a disaster. So she tries to get him to go to bed at the same time, right after dinner, time to go to bed. And you shouldn't go to bed right after you eat, all right? As I learned when I was dealing with that H. pylori infection thing, which gives you like horrible acid reflux. Yeah, if you just lay down right after you eat, you're asking for horrible acid reflux. So, this post goes on and on. But thankfully in the comments, this guy's getting some good information here. 12 hours of sleep a night's not normal, all right? If you have weird stuff going on with your sleep, you should get in and get a sleep study done. You could perhaps be dealing with sleep apnea, which is a problem I have. I've talked about it before. I don't know how I'd survive without a CPAP machine. It sucked to get used to it, but now I can't imagine sleeping without it. I hate when I doze off and forget to put the mask on because I know I'm going to feel kind of miserable. Because, I got like bad sleep apnea where I knew I needed to get in and get a sleep study done because of the chainsawing and the that was happening while I was asleep. I took a nap the other day on the recliner, and I have dreams where I'm walking around and I can't breathe. And I've gotten so used to this that I can tell myself in the dream, like, oh, you're actually sleeping. It's really weird to be aware that I'm in a dream that feels totally real, but I'm like, okay, due to the fact that I can't breathe in, I'm actually asleep right now. And then it tends to wake me up, and then I go, okay, geez, buddy, if you're going to take a nap, go lay in bed, bro. What's your problem? So anyway, a lot of people recommending this guy gets his wife in for a sleep study. Yeah, you could have a serious health problem going on, and once you get used to the machinery, go from 12 hours of sleep a night to 7 or 8, and you're feeling pretty good. My stupid schedule, waking up at 4:45, there's no really waking up chipper and feeling just super excited and ready for the day and just filled to the brim with energy on a weekday. But, I can't imagine what it would be like if I didn't have that machine and was trying to get on, this show going off of, 6 hours of sleep? Was up too late last night watching hurricane videos on TikTok. That's what my life has become. Sitting on my phone, watching TikTok. I blame Josh Tyler from Classy. He got me hooked on TikTok. I don't know, the content's just much more positive than the other social media pages. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't tend to get mad scrolling TikTok like I do when I scroll Facebook and see some of the dumb things that people are sharing and saying. Come on, there's nobody out there who really believes that the government's controlling the weather, right? Come on. Throughout this election cycle, it's been really funny to watch. This side, they're incompetent. The president, he's, got dementia and he's just completely out of it. But he also launches hurricanes in Florida and controls the weather. Come on, you got to find some middle ground here on the capabilities of people, all right? And why only attack Florida with hurricanes? If we got a tornado machine, you could wreak havoc all over the country. We want to cause some election interference? You just tornado every swing state. Could outright delay the election simply because of the devastation that you've wrought on all of the various states across the country that are the only ones that matter when it comes to voting. So, yeah, I ain't buying the weather machine issues myself. Haven't seen any weather machine stuff on TikTok, but I didn't watch too much last night. I was watching live videos. These maniacs who were like, yeah, let's hang in Florida. There was one I was watching where the water was just getting higher and higher, getting closer and closer to their front door, going up the steps, and these guys are just pounding beer. Like, woo! It was very Florida. Very Florida. I hope everyone in Florida is doing okay. I haven't seen video of the devastation yet outside of the roof of the stadium in Tampa Bay got ripped off. But it's been dark out, so they haven't been able to surveil the damage. Hopefully, not too many people hurt. Hopefully, not too terrible of damage in Florida. We'll get into that in a bit. Anyway, I feel like I'm talking a lot today, so I'm going to shut up, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, question posed online. How do you know that you're attractive? I think you just know, right? Like, I can look in the mirror and be like, personality goes a long way. That's one thing I'll tell you. Confidence, personality, and, I don't know, maybe willingness to learn something like how to play guitar and get in a band and play some live shows. I think that helps. The responses online are like, well, people compliment you and they tell you. Trying to think the last time I got a, hey, I think you're really attractive comment. Not a lot of that in my past that I can think of. I would assume, people just tell you. You just kind of know. You look in the mirror. Or if you post a selfie and you get lots and lots of likes and you're not celebrating something like, hey, here's just a selfie of me. And, the opposite sex is just hammering the likes there. I think that's one way to know. All right, we got a caller. Let's see what they want. K-Bear, you're live on the show. Keep that in mind. Who's this?
Hey, it's Brian.
Brian,
So,
what up?
you were talking about, if you're attractive, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to, say something to make sure that being attractive doesn't go to people's heads. That's the genetic lottery. That's not a skill. Being attractive is not something you do. It's something that happens. And so I know in this day and age of the Instagram, influencers and blah, blah, all the influencers that, their gift to society is being not unattractive. That's not a skill. That's you drawing the genetic lottery. You didn't do anything to be not unattractive or to be attractive, right?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to just, put that out into the world saying, being an influencer is not helping humanity in any way, shape, or form, right? There's some of these people that think that, you see them online trying to get, special treatment if they, for free hotels or whatever, if they post about the hotel or whatnot. That's not a skill. That's just luck. You're not ugly. You didn't do anything to earn that.
Okay, but it can be utilized, like you said. If you can build an online following on your looks,
Yes.
and you've got enough reach, it might be beneficial for a hotel to give you a free room if you talk about the room in a video. You might give them some really good advertising.
That is correct. But all right, look at it this way. What if every influencer on the planet just poofed out of existence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would society still be a good place, or would society be the same? Versus if every exterminator poofed out of existence and now your food supply is, at risk for the entire company or for the entire world, right? So I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is they bring nothing to the societal table when it comes to the furtherance of humanity's benefit, I guess, or humanity's progression.
Well, there've got to be some who are doing some good things, but your question regarding if they all just poof disappeared, I do think that the world would probably be a better place because from what I see in this day and age, I would say a majority of influencers are not giving out necessarily great information for humanity, and some of them are having very negative effects on humanity. So, yeah.
So it's the other direction then. I'm right.
Yeah, I gotta say, but a lot of the influencers I'm thinking of that are the most toxic and poisonous to humanity are like, ugly dudes who are angry at the world. I think they're about the worst of the bunch, girls doing makeup videos. Like, yeah, all right, they're giving some tips, but these guys who are on a rage against society and,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not going to get specific, but there are a few of these manly dudes that are, they're definitely making men worse.
I think he's a Romanian citizen, technically.
That guy's a scumbag. I have no problem saying that Andrew Tate, dudes, if you're following that guy and he's a hero to you, you've got to get in and talk to a counselor. All right? That guy's not, that guy is a bad man. He's not a good dude. He's a terrible human. So...
hot garbage.
And there's many others like him that are just terrible people. So, yeah, I think influencers could just poof, disappear. But they're not gonna. So.
No. And remember, the dumb ones, like the one lady that just came out and said that the Hurricane Helene, was a political stunt by the left, that person who has the attention span of a cheese sandwich, that person, their vote counts the same as yours.
Everybody, register and get out and vote. That's right.
All right, I'll let you go.
All right, good to hear from you, man.
Hydra.
Peace. All right, I guess we're doing calls. K-Bear, you were live on the show. Please keep that in mind. Who's this?
Yeah, brother, this is William.
William, what's up, dude?
What was your point about this whole thing? This guy, he was wasn't.
I didn't really have a point. It started off, I'm trying to find just something to babble on about. And I found this post about how do you find, or how do you know that you're attractive? And then it led into attractive people influencing people. And that's where we ended up.
What makes you attractive is being confident in what you believe in.
That's one way to be attractive. That's how I started off the break saying, if you're a dude who looks like me, personality goes a long way along with maybe some entertainment skills.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Yeah. I just turned you guys on and I want to rock. That got me going. I love that stuff.
All right. I'm glad to hear it, man.
I'm like 60. I went to Judas Priest last week. It was all right. It wasn't like it was at the US Festival in the 80s, but
well, Rob Halford's, I got to say, for a guy in his 70s, he was still hitting those notes, man.
That's what my girl said. She goes, you got to give him credit. He was 70 and he's still hitting it. I'm like, yeah, all right.
I mean, I just hope I'm alive when I'm 70. I'll be doing well if I haven't died yet.
You and me both, brother. You and me both. I'm from California originally, so I like it up here.
Welcome to East Idaho. How long ago did you move here?
A couple years ago. I like it. You people are all good up here.
Very friendly folks around here. Small town vibes. Pretty nice and chill.
Exactly.
Winter sucks. But yeah, that's, some people like that. Others not so much. But
everybody I talk to, they're just like me. That's why I had to leave Cali, bro.
Yeah. And see, you're helping me out here because a lot of locals, for some reason, feel that there's a whole bunch of liberals moving into the state trying to turn it blue. And I've tried to point out time and time again, there's no logic behind those kind of thoughts. If you are an extremely liberal person, you're not going to move to the reddest place in the Pacific Northwest. You're just not going to.
Exactly.
Yeah. So everyone I've met.
Why I moved up here.
Everyone I've met
by red people, yeah.
Yeah, everyone I've met from California who's moved in here that I've talked to definitely tends to lean very heavily red. So
right, exactly.
But the great thing around here is, like I talked about recently, we can all get along. I've got friends on all sides of politics, and we can have discussions about it, and we don't end up punching each other in the face, and we can all be friends and neighbors. So
exactly, brother. Yeah. Hey, brother, I love this station, man.
Thanks, man.
Maybe play some Megadeth off of Countdown to
Extinction?
What is it? Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'll see what I can find for you, man. For sure.
Pick your best stuff off of there, what you like.
All right, dude. I'll find some good Megadeth. Get it going.
God bless you, brother.
Hey, thanks, man. You have a good one.
You too. Thank you, sir.
Peace. All right, we've done a lot of mics on this morning. Extra talkative today, and I'm not even like wide awake, so that's fine. That's fine. The joys of being at this radio station. Yeah, if I was on most rock stations around the country, boy, would I have gotten a talking to for doing, what have we done in the last hour? I mean, almost a half hour of talk or something. Vanna Beg, what's up? It's Victor Wilt. Morning. I was actually talking about that track with Vinny from Octane yesterday. I hit him up because today Ice Nine Kills is, well, they're dropping a new song and video, but I think you got to go see Terrifier 3 to see that music video. And that reminds me that Terrifier 3 is in theaters tonight. Do I want to stay up that late to go see Terrifier 3? I bet it would be a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever seen a movie that will be as gory as Terrifier 3 is going to be in a movie theater. I mean, generally, horror movies in theaters, they're all R-rated, and I mean, you might see something sort of crazy, but not unrated Terrifier 3. And you get the new video and song from Ice Nine Kills. Anyway, I hit up Vinny to ask him, all right, dude, read an article that said you and Jose Mangan are in this new Ice Nine Kills video. Please tell me that you were, brutally killed at the hands of Art the Clown. And he sent me back a bunch of emojis of clowns with knives. And do you want the spoiler? I mean, he didn't give me the full spoiler, but he did say we don't make it out alive. How cool would that be to get killed in an Ice Nine Kills music video? I'm so jealous. So jealous. But hopefully the video will be posted to YouTube. I don't know. It could be pretty violent. It's a Terrifier-themed Ice Nine Kills song. So there's a pretty good chance it's just too violent for YouTube. But I got fingers crossed. As for when it will drop, I don't know. But the song, Vinny said, was really good. So looking forward to checking that out. Hopefully we all get to see it soon. But I guess if you want to see it, go see Terrifier 3, which is amazingly enough going to be at the movie theater in Idaho Falls and Pocatello, debuting tonight. I might have to do it. I might have to go check out some gore. My only issue was the length of the movie. Looks like this one's going to be about 2 hours, which is better than Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2, I was laughing. I was having a good time. I enjoyed the movie. It just went on too long, at least for the evening I was watching it. I'm like, how long is this movie? It was like 2.5 hours. A little long for a gore fest. So anyway, if you want to see the biggest hit Christmas movie of the season in theaters as of tonight, Terrifier 3, and hopefully you get to check out the new Ice Nine Kills track while you're at it. No guarantees. I don't know if it's playing everywhere or what, but I definitely want to go check it out. So anyway, just letting you know that's going down. And hopefully the label will be sending out the track soon. Even if it's like really heavy, we'll play it. It's Ice Nine Kills. I mean, come on. I just found a weird list online. It was on a local, well, sort of local, an Idaho radio station's website. 107.9 Light FM. Where are these guys? Twin Falls? I don't know. It's a town square radio station, so rather than focus on what they're doing on air, they just put out lists. They just fill up their websites with content, and then idiots like me are at their website all the time. I'm not at Light 107.9 very often, but I have been to this website before. I know it. The top 10 snobbiest towns in Idaho for 2024. That's the list. Should be interesting. Now, it's a list based on each city's education level, average income, and average home price. So I haven't gone through this. If I was to predict Idaho's snobbiest cities based on education, income, and average home price, I guess one thing I'd need to know is how much they weight each of those factors. Because I know as far as average home price goes, which areas we would look at. Places like Sun Valley, Driggs/Victor, Stanley. What's that town with the lake that everybody from Boise goes to that I can't think of the name of right now because I'm an idiot? Doesn't matter. We'll see if any of these places are on the list of the snobbiest cities in Idaho. All right, coming in at number 10, Kuna. All right, I guess they're not going to just dive right in and go, okay, Boise metro area. They're getting very specific on towns. And they did note that last year, Kuna was the number 6 snobbiest town in Idaho. That is not a place, I've been there, not a place that would pop into my head and I'd go, snobby. It's a small town. I guess the housing must be expensive. But the housing's expensive everywhere in Idaho. All right, maybe people making some bank. Average median income in Kuna, $83,000. And I guess 27% of the population highly educated. All right, I think this is going to be interesting then. Middleton, isn't that another Boise area? Let's find out. Middleton ID. Let's punch it into the old Google Maparoo here. Yeah, I'd call that Boise metro area. So are we just going to hit every little town in that area since we know that housing has skyrocketed in the Boise area? List is already getting kind of dumb. Why not just toss out Boise metro area? All right. There have been a few times when I was downtown in Boise that I was definitely feeling like, we got some snooty people around here. Hipsters, you know. Hipsters can be kind of annoying. Okay, anyway, let's keep going here. Ammon? What? Okay, I guess up in the hills, there are some fancy houses in Ammon. I actually almost bought a house up in the hills in Ammon. I'm glad I didn't because when I got divorced, I wouldn't have been able to keep that home. No way. Oh, I might have felt kind of snooty living up in the hills. No, everybody up there seemed pretty nice. But Ammon, snobbiest places in Idaho? All right, then we've got to have again, McCall. That's the town I couldn't think of earlier. Coeur d'Alene, that area. Sun Valley, Stanley, Driggs/Victor. Where are the other really expensive places to live in Idaho? That was a good pile of them there. Hold on. We got somebody calling. Let's see what they want. K-Bear, you're live on the show. Who's this?
Hey, this is John. How's it going?
John, I'm doing pretty good. What's up, man?
I was just listening to your show about snobby places, and going based off the income is a good idea, but you've also got I think Rexburg is up there in some snobby people.
Yeah, okay. See, that's the thing, is you can't just say because somebody has lived in an area with expensive housing or because somebody makes a decent amount of money that they're necessarily snobby. I know some really, really rich people, some of the richest people in the region. I've met a few of them that they're fairly
super down to earth,
fairly hillbilly. They're kind of wild. They drink beer. They have fun. I would certainly not call them snobby. And I mean, these are extremely wealthy people.
Right.
So, yeah, Rexburg, is snobby the right word? Rexburg, shout out to all our Rexburg listeners. We love all of you. It is a weird town. It reminds me of being in the Truman Show every time I go there. But I guess people have been pretty nice to me while I'm there. But I haven't spent tons of time in Rexburg. I'm usually at at some kind of event or something like that. Not just, I've never lived there, and I've lived in Pocatello, Idaho Falls, sadly, Burley.
Yeah, I grew up in and around Rexburg, and, you know, when you're visiting, it's super nice, everybody's friendly, but behind closed doors, there are some judgmental, kind of rude people that just passing by, you'd think, oh, wow, that's a perfect little family, but man, there's some people that just are judgy for no reason.
Well, I could say the same thing about Pocatello for sure. Like, I went to Alameda Junior High, and that was some of the worst years of my life. I was so happy when I moved to Pocatello High School, and everyone else from Alameda, for the most part, all went to Highland, and I didn't have to put up with their snootiness.
Right.
So, you know, to me, it's like, well, that's the place I've dealt with the snobbiest people, Pocatello, and I doubt that's on the list.
Yeah, so I don't know. You could definitely go based on income. There's definitely some snobbiness that can come with that, but you also got to take into account some other stuff, I feel like, at least when you're talking about Idaho.
I think you're right. And appreciate the call today, man.
Yeah, I was liking the segment, so I figured I'd contribute a little.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to have to, this ended up going on longer than I thought it would, and I've only got to number 8, so we'll probably keep going with this here in just a minute, so.
All right, well, good luck with the rest of the show then.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, man. Hope you have a good one.
Yep, I'll be listening. See y'all later.
All right, so I think we're going to save this list of the snobbiest places in Idaho, the rest of it for Freak News, which is coming up here in a few. So hang on, we'll be right back. Freak News is powered by Grease Monkey, voted Idaho's best oil change. All right, let's continue on with the snobbiest cities in Idaho. Then we'll get to some other freak news here. This one's been fairly interesting. We've so far on this list, as far as the snobbiest cities in Idaho, had Kuna, Middleton, and crazy enough, Ammon. Yeah, I know we got plenty of listeners from Ammon listening to the show today. What up, snobs? Oh, look at you. No, I would definitely not think of Ammon as a snobby town. There are some really, really crazy houses up in the hills in Ammon, that's for sure. The nicest houses in the Idaho Falls metro area, but still. I'm very curious to see what we have on this list. You know, I've named off a bunch that I would expect to see. McCall, Sun Valley, Coeur d'Alene, and maybe they've got the small towns around these areas. Stanley, Victor/Driggs. I'm just trying to think of expensive places because this is all based on median home price, income, and education. All right, Ammon, very educated compared to Kuna and Middleton. So you're smart. And that makes you snobbier, I guess. All right, let's keep going. Sandpoint. Okay, that's Coeur d'Alene area. Sandpoint, I am not surprised to see on this list. Very expensive place to live with a median home price of about $600,000. However, I mean, look at the median home price in Ammon, $391,000. Still ain't cheap. I cannot believe that the place we live has turned into a high cost of living area and a hot spot. And with all of the problems happening in the world, I think we're just going to have people keep moving in. You know, you got all these places that burn every year. You've got places like Florida with the relentless hurricanes. You know, down south, it's just not great. Hurricane, tornado alley. They're just going to keep rolling in, aren't they? All right, anyway, Sandpoint, not a surprise. Hayden. Now, is that Coeur d'Alene area as well? Hayden, Idaho. Here, let's pull up the old Maparoo. Zoom out. Yeah, that's... So, like we discovered with Boise, you know, they're not covering a metro area. They're getting very specific. So, we've had Sandpoint and Hayden pop up on this list. Not too surprising. I wonder if the rest of the list will just make sense then. Okay, maybe not. Coming in at number 5 of the snobbiest places in Idaho, Rigby. Yeah, shout out to my Rigby people, you snobs. You know, I've driven through Rigby countless times. Rigby what, 10, 15 minutes from my house? I don't know if snobby is what comes to mind when I'm in Rigby. Rigby is snobbier than Sandpoint? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay, how does this work out? We got percentage of highly educated folks, 39%. Median home price, $450,000, and median income, $73,000. You go back to Sandpoint, 36%. Highly educated, median home price of $600,000. I guess the wages are a little better in Rigby than Sandpoint. Huh. Feel bad for those people trying to get by in Sandpoint. Jeez. Crap wages are pretty common in Idaho. So it's got to suck to live in those, really high cost of living places like that. All right, Rigby and Ammon, bunch of snobs. Let's see here. Star, another Boise area. Okay, Haley, Sun Valley area. Would definitely expect to see that on the list. Another low-income place with a median home price of about $800,000. Man, that would suck. Okay, Meridian. How does that... I guess people in Meridian making good money for Idaho, I should say. Median income of $93,000. Home price is about $500,000. You think... I've been to Meridian. Meridian, snobbier than the Sun Valley area? Yeah, give me a break. What's number one? What is number one of the snobbiest places in Idaho? We got Eagle, another Boise area town that has very expensive homes. I would certainly think that Sun Valley is snobbier than Eagle, but I don't think I've ever been to Eagle. I've been to Boise many, many times. But you got a lot of highly educated people making good money, living in expensive homes. I guess that Eagle, pretty highfalutin. Now, wait a minute. 2 cities dropped out of last year's list, Coeur d'Alene and Chubbuck. Chubbuck? Snobby? Okay, I did talk about my experiences going to Alameda Junior High. A lot of folks that end up at Highland, they come from Chubbuck. So I still think it's weird. We didn't see Victor or Driggs on there. We didn't see McCall. I'm calling shenanigans. This list does not accurately reflect snobby people. Okay, they've got last year's list. Chubbuck, Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint, Hayden, Cuna, Ammon yet again, Haley, Star, Meridian, and Eagle again at number 1. Rigby coming up in the ranks of snootiness. That's so funny. Rigby. How bizarre. K-Bear, you're live on the show. Keep that in mind. Who's this?
This is JD. Good morning. Love you. Love your show, sir.
Hey, JD. What's on your mind?
Oh, I was listening to your snobbiest towns in Idaho or whatever it is. And I was just thinking how funny it was. You mentioned Eagle and some of the Boise surrounding areas. Growing up there in that area, I remember when Eagle was smaller than Firth, and how much it's changed and gone. Oh, John Brendan, Mr. Peach's way of people.
All the California, there are a lot of Californians moving to Eagle.
Oh yeah, and the funny thing is the ones that are moving to Eagle are usually policemen, detectives, fire people, firefighters, firemen and stuff. So a lot of those people in that area are actually pretty conservative, but
well,
you can have money.
You can be conservative and snobby, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of those people there are that way. But when I was growing up, like I said, that was smaller than Firth. Eagle was.
Well, maybe Rigby's the next Eagle, since it's now the number 5 snobbiest city in Idaho, and it's just blowing up. All the rich people moving in and just bringing their snootiness.
Not on that list, is it?
Not yet, JD, but Shelley, I wouldn't be surprised to see it pop up on that list soon enough.
Well, I don't live in the city of Shelley, so.
Well, Then I guess we won't point the finger at you and start calling you a snob yet, JD. Yet.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to guitars.
That's true. You've got your snobby ways.
I'm picky about guitars.
But that's understandable as a guitar player. So
Well, and it's easier to get along with a guitar than a person a lot of times. So.
Oh, for sure. You know, they might bite back if you break a string. They might cut you, but that's about it.
Yeah. And speaking of snobby, towns, right now I'm driving around Jackson Hole, lost.
Yeah, as far as the region goes, there is definitely nowhere snobbier than Jackson Hole.
I was just about to say that.
But it's not Idaho, so it wouldn't show up on the list. But by the way, shout out to all our Jackson listeners. I know we're the best rock station in Jackson Hole. You know, you're not all snobs. And even if you are snobs like Rigby and Ammon, we still like you.
Yeah. Right? I know. It's I will say, coming over the pass this morning with the sun coming up was a beautiful morning.
It is beautiful in Jackson. I will not deny that. I will not deny that. So
I'm here seeing my friend Steve, and then I'm going to go winterize a church.
Well, good, JD. You know, way to keep things up and running. We don't want to have burst pipes and things like that. So way to get the job done.
You got it, Victor.
All right, man. We'll have a good one.
Yep, you guys have a great day. Like I said, love your show, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, JD. Peace.
No problem. Bye.
All right, Peaches, you missed it. The list of the 10 snobbiest cities or towns in Idaho.
Did Ammon make that list?
Ammon did.
Good. That's like the uppity neighborhood of this area.
Peaches agrees with the list. I was laughing. I'm like, Ammon, because I know the really snobby areas in Idaho. There are way more snobby areas than Ammon. You know, my list was
Boise. Is it?
And they didn't name Boise specifically, but a lot of the surrounding little suburbs.
So they're choosing just like little sections of Idaho.
Yeah, specific areas.
Okay.
You know, rather than metro areas. So, you know, like I was surprised there was no Victor or Driggs. There was no McCall.
Was there Pocatello? Any place in Pocatello? Chubbuck?
Chubbuck used to be on the list, but it fell off the list.
People have been really, really nice in Pocatello.
Yeah, that's
Chubbuck
the thing.
as well.
Yeah, very, very nice. Kind of like Ammon. You know, there's some nice houses, but when I think of snobby, I think of Sun Valley. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Sun Valley, Haley. Let's see what this caller wants. K-Bear, you're live on the show. Who's this?
Hey, it's Brandon.
Brandon, what's up?
I just barely got in the car to head to work. I turn on the show, and I hear you guys talking about the snobbiest areas. I just helped my brother-in-law and his wife move their stuff to a house in Ammon. And a disclaimer, they are those people of our family. I was laughing really hard, felt the need to call in and just let you guys know that Ammon, absolutely, Peaches, should be on that list.
All right.
See, I told
All
you.
right. See, I don't think of Ammon as a snobby place, even with the mansions up on the hill. So
Look who posts the most complaining in life in Idaho Falls on Facebook and see if they're from Ammon. Sometimes it's the numbered street people because they go like, people are speeding down my street, but that's reasonable.
that's not snobby.
That's just
like,
being concerned. But if you go
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a weird person walking down my street right now.
That's me. Who's on my cul-de-sac? Who are these people?
There's a place like that called Rossmore, right by where I used to grow up, and it's the exact same way. There's a suspicious character on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, dude. There was a guy going around doing some kind of sales one day, and I called his company. I'm like, does this guy really work there? He's weirding me out. He asked me some strange questions.
You're helping out Idaho Falls get higher on that list.
Snobbiest person in East Idaho, Victor Wilt. All right. Well, appreciate the call, man.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one, guys.
Peace. Well, the topic of the snobbiest towns or cities in Idaho has been pretty popular. So I guess let's go ahead and go to the phones again.
Popular opinion here, but I think American Falls is one of the snobbiest places.
American Falls? Really?
Yeah, I find farmers to be quite snobby.
Whoa, that is a hot take, snobby farmers. All right.
Yeah, there's no food without farms. Okay, well, there's no houses without construction workers. You want to play that game?
You know what? He's onto something.
There's no cheeseburgers without fast food workers, man. That's pretty funny, Stuart.
There's
pretty
no
funny.
entertainment without workers. Something like that.
All right. I appreciate that call, man.
Well, don't say his name. Now you're going to get the farmers to hunt him down.
Oh, yeah. Whatever your name was, I'll beep it out.
Yeah. Don't be throwing me under the bus here, man.
Yeah. Call him anonymous.
Mr. Anonymous. K-Bear, what's up?
Not much. It's Mitch. How are you?
Mitch, I'm doing pretty good. What's on your mind?
Well, I just, as you guys started, before you ever started naming off the towns for the top 10, I named Eagle right before you guys started naming things off. I know how it used to be, and I used to grow up. My stomping grounds was a town called Emmett.
Yeah.
And back in them days, when you'd get off the freeway from Boise, heading to Eagle, you would get off the freeway, go down the road, go over a hill, go over a river, and then boom, you hit Eagle, and you could tell. Now, when you get off the freeway and you head down that exit, you can't tell where Eagle starts. It's just all Eagle.
Yeah, everything has expanded pretty crazy in that area.
I remember when they were getting into building over there, they actually redirected part of the Boise River to go around nice houses and everything over there.
Oh, wow.
They dug a river off of the Boise River. It's fed by it, but just to go through the neighborhood and everything over there.
Oh, wow. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. I got a predictive bumper sticker for you.
Okay.
All right. You knew there was hurricanes there when you moved there. Stay out of Idaho.
I wouldn't be surprised to see those start popping up. Next thing we'll be not raving about California, we'll be raving about Florida people.
Well, I've seen lots of Florida license plates.
Wow.
It's not really. I can't be hard on beaches. It's not just California. I think everybody's gotten the word that this is a pretty cool place to live, and now I have road rage between 5 and 6:30.
Yeah, I try to avoid certain roads for sure in the afternoon. I just do not take certain roads.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I'm actually spending most of my week thinking of a place I could get away to for the weekend, just to have some peace and quiet. And gosh, I can't come up with anything within 30, 40 minutes. I can't.
Not anymore. Not anymore. So, well, I appreciate the call, Mitch, and I hope you have a good rest of the week, man.
Hey, you guys too.
Right on. Thanks, man.
Oh, bye.
Peace. How on earth is it already 8:42? I ain't complaining because that means the day is going by, but it's just weird. I don't know. Seemed like I was just barely doing freak news and talking about snobby cities. All right, well, let's see what else we've got going on around here. In news you'll never believe, multiple reporters who decided to get out and report live at the hurricane were hit by flying debris. Yeah, if you're a news reporter and you go out with a camera and you stand in 100-degree winds when roofs are getting ripped off and stuff, you're going to get hit in the face. Kind of funny. There's a lot of videos if you want to check those out. I mean, you got people that are worried about losing everything they own, potentially dying, and these news reporters, man. I mean, I know that I was watching the news. I was watching the live video of the hurricane last night, but I don't know. It just seems kind of ridiculous how some of these reporters got to be out in the midst of it. The best hurricane videos I saw yesterday were actually TikTok Live. TikTok Live, you had complete maniacs live streaming the hurricane. They're just like pounding beer as floodwaters are creeping up to their doors. There was one guy, he was getting a little bit cocky, and he's like, I'm opening up my business. I don't know if he ran a tattoo shop or something. I'm opening up my business. They said this was going to be a big deal. Look, we got a little bit of sprinkling going on. So he, flips the open sign on. And I noticed this guy had said he was live at the same time. So I click on the live video, and this guy's in full panic mode. Now, I'm hoping that the hurricane didn't end up being as bad as, some of the predictions said it could potentially be. I haven't seen a lot of reports this morning that detail all of the destruction. Like the baseball field in Tampa Bay, the roof got all shredded off, but I think the field itself is pretty fine. I've seen some videos with some decent floodwaters and stuff like that, but I haven't seen, a lot of stuff about people dying, or it didn't seem as crazy as Asheville with the last hurricane. So that's great. It's great that it did not end up being as bad as they were saying, at least as far as the reports I've seen so far. The only unfortunate thing is that now you know what we're going to see on Facebook. Oh, the weatherman said this was going to be so terrible, and now look, it wasn't that bad. And then, you'll get more of these stories like the one I pulled up earlier where people were sending death threats to weathermen. Yeah. I don't like what the weatherman said. Death threats to weathermen. That's fantastic. What do you want, Peaches?
Are you talking about the video with Anderson Cooper getting hit in the face?
I talked about it earlier.
You talked about that one?
Yeah. If you're out filming in a hurricane, you're going to get hit by something.
I mean, he's risking his life for our entertainment. Thank you, Anderson.
That's what it is, for our entertainment. It's not important that you get out into a hurricane to let people know the hurricane is happening.
I'm getting some thoughts about some local weather guy that should be out there. It'd be funny to hear that voice.
Dude, I would love to hear
in the middle of a storm.
I would
if you know
love
who I'm talking about.
To see Roper broadcasting live from in a hurricane with the fake country voice. Yeah.
Whoa,
everybody! You're not gonna believe this here. Winds are 100 degrees. Oh! I just took a piece of siding right to the cranium.
It's like that one reporter who accidentally eats a fly and then his voice completely changes. You just hear Roper's voice go to normal.
Ow! Ah! Oh, man! I just got hit by a piece of flying plywood. Jeez!
I what in tarnation?
Yeah, it's a terrible time to work in the media. Now, there are people in the media who are just disinformation agents spewing a bunch of garbage. CNN,
I'm looking at one.
Fox News, Newsmax, all the big 24-hour news channels that are spewing opinion rather than just giving us the news. I don't like that. But, you got a weatherman who's like, hey, we could have a hurricane rolling in that's going to be really bad, and then people start sending them death threats. Don't be idiots, okay? These are people just trying to get information out. Just because you saw they're controlling the weather on your Facebook feed doesn't mean that it's real, and you don't need to send threats at people.
But Victor, I didn't like what the weather guy had to say, so I just decided to pull out a piece of paper and my quill and write my death threat longhand.
Now, okay, that at least you'd put some proper effort in rather than just using the cell phone.
My favorite thing with those death threats that you're talking about is when people get mad that they lost their bet when they bet on the sports game, and they'll message the player some horrible, horrible things.
People are psychotic.
Isn't that funny?
People are completely insane. That's the world we live in now. People are completely insane. They've lost their minds.
An NFL lineman named Myles Garrett. I don't know if you've ever seen that guy. He's a ginormous dude,
Okay.
Pretty tough. People were sending him just so many things. I'm going to fight you. It's like, okay, buddy, yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna
Go ahead and
fight
try
you.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, sports fans can be pretty ridiculous too. It all gets to be so exhausting. You shouldn't send. Is there a scenario where you should send someone a death threat?
If they do something to your family.
If
That's
they
when you pull the Liam Neeson.
But then there's always the law.
They kill your dog, John Wick.
Yeah, Peaches, it's called the law. There's a process for this. You get the law involved. And it's not the Wild West anymore.
This is
okay?
a good question for Lieutenant Crane. When is it okay to send somebody a death threat?
That's a good question for traffic school tomorrow. Because I cannot think of a scenario where you need to send a death threat. If somebody does something bad to your family, you call the police. You don't vigilante it, okay? You're not Batman, all right? Settle down and shut up. Call the cops and get the law to deal with the problems. The law sucks sometimes. It takes a long time. It's a slow process, and it's, gotta be frustrating. But if you send out a death threat, you're just going to go to jail. You're going to go to jail, especially if you're sending death threats to a weatherman, all right? I mean, geez. Yes, I don't like it when the weatherman is wrong for the weather 5 days from now. I just know that's how it's going to be. Like, I'm hoping that the weather next week is great for our final round of Haunted Meetup next week.
I just know Roper has one of those rain machines. He likes to turn on every once in a while.
Oh, Roper's the one flinging hurricanes at Florida.
Yeah.
He's the one controlling the weather.
Florida, I don't like you.
I thought it was, old senile Biden who can't do anything, but he can control the weather and fling hurricanes
He has
at
the
Florida.
button below his desk.
Oh,
the hurricane button?
So that's all he does.
Because he knows Florida is more so a right-wing state. He knows the votes will be against Kamala if Florida's doing okay. They have to, ravage Florida.
Yeah. But, so why they don't use this weather machine to send tornadoes at every other swing state, I don't know. I don't know why it's only Florida.
Who said tornadoes? We could have a herd of bison get unleashed.
Yeah.
All through East Idaho.
Yeah. Oh, some of the other dumb things I was saying. You have this hurricane footage on the news, and I was watching people live streaming on YouTube, hurricane footage, and people got to jump in and go,
AI.
Hey, you know that Wyoming's on fire, right?
Oh, yeah, that's how they always they try to put the problem on something different.
I hate whataboutism.
Yeah.
Nothing I hate worse than whataboutism. It's not a reasonable response to an issue to go, well, what about this? No, that doesn't answer the question of, what do we need to do to help these people dealing with a hurricane? Okay? What about what's happening elsewhere doesn't help the situation at all. You're just being a turd. And people use whataboutism endlessly for everything.
We're getting the two elements. We got fire, we got water. Where's the earth and...
Oh, there'll be earthquakes, and I'm sure we got some of that coming our way.
No, we already had a few in California.
Why are there so many people here?
That's what I was wondering, too. I saw Chantel in the window.
You coming over with some whataboutism for me? All right. Josh and Chantel, they want some, so we're going to go. It's time for me to go anyway. I think it was just yesterday we were talking about bad pranks, YouTubers doing terrible things, ending up in jail for their YouTube prank videos. I just happened to be scrolling YouTube and came across a YouTube short with a pretty funny prank. Now, as I start this, some of you might, pucker up a bit and get a little, but you got to wait till the end, okay, as I describe this prank before you get mad at the content, okay, because this is pretty funny. All right, we got these guys doing a bumper sticker prank. They put a bumper sticker on their car that says, honk if you worship the devil, all right? Then they pull up to, a light. The light turns green and they don't move. So they're pretty much trying to get the people behind them to honk. And the people behind them don't want to because of the bumper sticker that says, honk if you worship the devil. All right? But eventually you're stuck at this red or this green light. Eventually they all honk. And then what makes it funny is not the fact that, we got him to honk. No. Out from the trunk Pops Jesus, who gives them just a shamed look, shakes his head back and forth, and then closes the trunk and goes back in it. Very funny stuff. And the other drivers, from what I've seen, reacted in a pretty good way. Harmless prank, though I could imagine in the wrong area, even with the funny, even like, check it out, we had Jesus pop out and shake his head at you. I could imagine it going wrong in some areas. Might not want to pull that one in Florida. Anywhere where people are unhinged, because you just don't know what you're going to have to deal with. But I thought that one was pretty funny. The ending with Jesus popping out of the trunk caught me by surprise. And so I thought it was pretty well executed, pretty funny stuff. It's a different way to bring joy to the community, but the people were laughing. Peaches directed me to a video on TMZ where there's a couple monkeys in a park who take some beer out of the garbage and chug it down. They just pound this beer. These are, small monkeys. And I just watched that documentary on HBO called Chimp Crazy. Monkeys are pretty terrifying to begin with. They're brute strength. They're intelligent. They can rip you to pieces. They'll rip your face off. Monkeys should not be allowed to have beer, all right? I don't think giving animals of any type beer is a good idea. It doesn't seem like it's good for them. Alcohol in general. But monkeys especially. We should not be allowing monkeys to get drunk. Because the ramifications, like I said, could be horrific. That monkey that ripped off someone's face, that was a sober monkey. Imagine a chimp, which I don't know if you can call chimps monkeys again. I'm sorry, zoologists out there. But imagine a chimp pounding down some whiskey. Why hasn't that been a horror movie? I mean, we've had movies like Congo, where, or Planet of the Apes, where the apes take over. Do they get drunk in those movies? I haven't watched Planet of the Apes for a long time. But just regular old chimps plus whiskey equals... that sounds like a horrific horror movie. You don't even need to have any supernatural elements or anything. Monkey gets drunk, starts killing people. It could be as brutal as Terrifier 3 in theaters tonight. If I wasn't going to be out so late tomorrow night, I really might consider going and seeing Terrifier 3. Because a movie with that amount of gore in the movie theater, it just sounds so fun. Maybe they got chimps ripping off people's faces in it. You never know. But don't give monkeys alcohol, okay? Please. We got enough problems in this world. Hurricanes, politics. Last thing we need, drunk apes. I really need to figure out a different way to do this show for those of you who tune in later on, because I'll look at the recorded material that goes on to the podcast version of the show. I record pretty much everything I do. If we're doing hey, we're giving away tickets to a haunted attraction, I'm not going to put that in the podcast. But as I look back each day, generally early on in the show, lots of chatter, lots of topics. And then I don't know if it's just I run out of content or run out of steam, but the 9 o'clock hour, you tend to suffer a bit. So I don't know if I should repeat bits or just save the bits and, screw the 6 a.m. hour, give them less content. But I think I got to start mixing it up a bit. Peaches, what do you want?
I made an account with GeoGuessr, so I want to see
good for you.
a video made of yours trying to guess where you're at in Idaho Falls or even Pocatello.
Okay, can we do it right now, or is this
sure if you'd like to? I mean,
live on air?
It's not necessarily a good radio break. It's definitely something you should do for YouTube.
Yeah, I keep hearing you talk about this game, but I haven't even looked into it.
I was so upset just not that long ago because I was for this game you have to have a monthly subscription.
You have to pay monthly?
So I saw $4.99.
I'm done. I'm not playing a game like that.
You can use my account.
Oh, okay.
But I saw $4.99 a month. Clicked on that button. Then I saw I was charged $60 for the year.
$60 for the year.
For the year, yeah. So now I'm going back and forth with
customer service.
The paddle website that they used for their payments and
wow.
Yeah.
$5 a month.
Well, you can have
for
my
a
account if
game.
you want to use it on your PC at home too.
Well, I'll check the game out. I mean, it seems to be very popular. I heard you and Josh talking about it. I had no idea it was a monthly subscription thing, but because I'm a cheapskate, as you know.
No, so am I, and I was very upset that they took out that much money.
Yeah, I know. I got hit by the PlayStation Network recently. I'm like, I don't even online game.
Right.
So I hit up the kids. I'm like, send me a third.
I'm going back to the GameCube where there's no monthly subscription.
That's right. Even Nintendo, you got to pay an online subscription now. It's crazy. Especially if you're me and you don't online game.
Yeah.
But I got the kids that do. They're into that kind of thing.
But they're on their own, Victor. Come on.
And I will say
cut them
that
off. Get the scissors.
Every once in a while, I'll play some online games with them. We'll do some Mario Kart or Mario Wonder, something like that. But on my PlayStation, never. What? I want to go play Overwatch with people and get stomped? No, I suck.
That would be the funniest thing ever. I'm a dad with a full-time job. Don't kill me.
I fired up GTA Online one day because I just replayed the story mode. I'm like, GTA Online sucks. Why am I playing this? So I turned it off. Red Dead Online sucks.
On GTA 5 Online, me and my friend Christian, we got hammered in the casino and we just started gambling on blackjack. It's not real money.
I guess, but I don't know. Sitting around playing casino games on the computer isn't fun to me either. Because I don't like gambling in real life because I lose money. And I get almost just as mad when I lose fake money. So I don't play any kind of gambling games.
I do want to see who does better because there is multiplayer for this GeoGuessr game. So we could have you and Josh face off and who can guess what city they're in East Idaho.
All right. Well, we'll check it out. Keep an eye on our socials. I'll have Peaches. I don't know. Is this something I'd have to make in OBS, I'm guessing?
No. You can just pull up the tab that you already have preset on OBS and do it that way.
All right. Well, I'm going to check this game out. We'll be back for the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem powered by Jalisco's. Talk to you in a few. Thank you again for tuning in to the Victor Welch Show. This program's a production of River. Why can't I say that? God.
Have to say Riverbend Media Group.
Riverbend Media Group. This program's a production of God. This program's a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.